Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good out there. I hope you hear me. I had some technical problems and issues as usual. Hope everything is fine with you and you had a fantastic week. I had a fantastic week and I'm happy to see you all here on tonight's show, and I see the chat is going crazy. All my friends are there. That's nice. I got a very, very special guest tonight. I'm really excited to talk to her and introduce her to you guys. Well, let's see if she's there. I will not talk more about. This telephone is driving me crazy. Means I need a new telephone. Zack! Whoa, there's a lot of viewers I see. But I need only one person in the chat. Happy birthday to everybody. Yes, there she is. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. I'm doing good. I was running this morning. And everybody out there, you look, Ben, everybody is there. It's nice. I like that. So, where you at?
I'm in LA right now, unfortunately.
You want to go back to New York or you want to come to Europe?
I think I want to go to Europe.
Which city?
I don't know. We'll see. Spain or Germany.
North Germany.
I have so many friends in Berlin, it's hard not to consider it.
That's the Far East.
I don't know. We'll see. No, it's definitely Spain. That's the only place I'm thinking about right now.
Spain. Yeah, you want to go back. You want to go to the sun. You want to stay in the sun.
I just want to be able to communicate with people.
Okay,
I mean, it's problematic, but hey, you know, considering the world we live in is messed up right now, DJs can't just go wherever they want.
No, we're not free as we used to be.
No, but it's cool. I mean, here we are. I'm like, I feel like nothing is stable anymore. Just, you know, go with the flow one day at a time.
Fantastic. So let me introduce you to my people, to every viewer right here. I think you brought a lot of fans with you, but to all of y'all who don't know who Venus X is and didn't do their homework and Google that name when I show it in the stories, here it is. I wrote something special about you. I mean, what is special? It's a copy paste, but in my way. All right, you ready? Let's do this. I would like to introduce our guest for tonight's show, Venus X. Venus X is a New Yorker original based in Harlem. Used to be based in Harlem. Straight out Harlem. She served cocktails in hip-hop bars in New York where she witnessed the vibrant scene firsthand. The rest of the time, Venus used to spend at punk shows and at after parties in Baltimore where she regularly drive with her crew. In 2009, she got the urge to become a DJ, and that's where her musical career starts. Venus first drew attention through her ghetto gothic parties in warehouses across Brooklyn and Manhattan. Ghetto Gothic was an underground party that brought together all types of people. Artists like MIA, A$AP Rocky, and Alexander Wang, and so on, frequently attended and were charged the standard $2 entry fee. Everyone was treated the same. Venus created an environment where ravers, gays, punks, and all kinds of outcasts felt at home. She says, we created a glamorous, fashion-friendly, art-friendly freak fest. Back to her DJing, her signature DJ style could jump from Brazilian baile funky to Lil Kim to nu metal to Jersey Club to literally anything. Besides being a unique DJ, Venus is a backing up vocalist, warm-up act, tour DJ. She's also a dexterous street-style chameleon, describing her wardrobe as freakish cosplay, short for costume play, mixed with goth and the hood. Whatever Venus is, she isn't shy. She said, I'm a new kind of DNA for New York. Please welcome DJ, producer, writer, party promoter, and movement creator, Venus X.
Hey guys.
Nothing is working. My computer, I need a new computer. Nothing is working anymore. You know, Apple, when they give you a new update, they fuck up everything.
Yep, I'm going through the same thing right now.
I made that mistake.
Wipe my whole thing clean if I want to use it. Or buy a new one.
No, I'm not buying a new one. Fuck that shit. It's still working.
Yeah, it's going to be working for another 5 years. Just keep fucking with it.
I see you got a keyboard in the back. Are you busy composing something, writing some stuff? Okay, I'm quiet.
Yes, for sure.
Are you having?
I'm definitely hitting it, a lot harder these days. Writing original music, and just writing whatever I want, really, from dance music through to everything from ballads to hip hop records. It's cool. It's fun. I think when you have a lot of reference points and you like a lot of different types of music, it lends itself to you making whatever you want. If you don't have a genre that people know you for, which is good in my case, because we'll see where this all ends up. Now it's just like the goal is to make 100, 200 songs, and
you see where it goes. But you in the flow? You got the flow? Are you happy?
We're getting there. It's like, I don't know. It's a different thing. Like you're playing mind games with yourself more than anything, I feel like. The older you get and the more, focused in how you make money, you like have to revert to spend all those hours. I used to be able to spend 10 hours mixing just for fun. And now I need to find that rhythm again with production because I haven't been that young and that excited in a long time, and it's there, but I know what it feels like when you're obsessed,
Oh, yeah. Where are you at the moment?
Different.
Are you at the moment more hip-hop or more electronic?
Honestly, it's a mixture of both.
So you're still crazy all over?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I really like synths, and I like, more like futuristic ideas of sound, but then at the same time, sometimes I'm writing things that are like really guitar based and like Spanish, very romantic ballads. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's a very natural thing. So when I hear something I like, I just go from there. And every section of the session could be very different. We've done 5 different genres in one session. I'm just letting myself glide through, which is why I feel like I haven't found like the perfect rhythm, because I don't know what I'm making. I'm just making tons of stuff. And I do it in English, I do it in Spanish. Some of it is, more rap, some of it is more singing freestyle. Some of it is just like really cool beat ideas. But I am loving it. I will say that. Like, it's a unique process. It's not something that you just, you don't just wake up and make music. It's just not the thing. Like, I know people can make sounds and record them, but, to really get into like that art form of writing, both on the production side and on the other side, you have to just, you have to become improvisational. Your words and your sounds have to become like jazz, in the sense that I just talk shit all day. I make voice notes. Like, I'll, fuck around in the studio. Like I said, any genre I want. And I'm just like, until you put out a record, nothing really should be stopping you from experimenting as much as possible.
This is the most important thing. Keep experimenting and not stand still in one direction. This is important. Well, it is hard. Are you excited to go back to the crowd and play with the energy with the crowd and everything?
I'm not getting too excited yet because I don't think it will be here for a long time. So we'll see. Right now, I'm just one day at a time. It's a special time for DJs because, like, we're all the way on the extreme of risk. Like, the last thing on the scale, most risky, is clubs. So, I don't think anybody should be too excited about playing yet until something else happens.
Well, but we gotta show that it's still there. We are existing. Not only us DJ, the movement is existing, and I think a lot of people, a lot of kids out there, they are fed up with everything, and what did we do as DJs? We've been always giving a place or being in an environment of freedom where people can forget everything around you, and it's right what you say about being safe and everything, and hopefully everybody who goes to those parties. I mean, here in Switzerland, in Germany, nothing is allowed, but you have like in Switzerland, it's like 300 capacity with registration. People have to buy it up front, the tickets. So far, we believe in the promoters and we believe in the people who are really know that they are not mixing. And I mean, you can't keep it safe. It's very difficult. But to be honest with you, was clubbing ever safe?
No. It was never safe. I would say that now, yeah, I don't know what to think. I think it's like it's gonna take some time, but I don't know. I feel a renewed like joy and excitement about clubbing that I think, you have to get it every so often. Sometimes people think that, the older you get, you can't like club anymore, or you can't be a DJ, or there's so much ageism, especially for women, where, it's like I even think about, oh, if I have a child, can I still be a DJ? Can I still go to the club? And I'm like, hell yeah, I think I might be better now than I was when I was younger, because now I can just have fun and I don't even really need anything. I'm just like super excited about music more than even the lifestyle or the culture associated with music. So I'm excited to make records, to be fair. Like, I think that, for me, the next excitement comes from being able to share a new sound with people and being able to say, like, especially like we were discussing a little earlier, a lot of people don't know exactly where I come from or what is it that I do. And I need to solidify that into an experience for people. So
you need a product. you need an album.
Yeah, I need to share with people what goes on in my head, because I think that, there's a lot of things you do as a DJ that you don't always record. And then what happens is that people have a sense of who you are and how you mix, but they can't go back and access that unless you give them a record or you give them a very consistent series of mixes, I've really enjoyed, doing what I do, but at the same time, there's a lot of merit to the system. And the system sometimes requires, as you get, especially with DJing, as you get further along, that you just take over the entire space, and I feel like, considering what I've been doing as a DJ, there's certain genres that they could really use, like, a brain like mine and like this mentality to be applied. So that's kind of my job, is like, we're in a world where we have these sort of antique genres. That's what they are. They're beautiful, but they constantly need to be redesigned and like reinvented. So that's what I have to do now.
I feel it's difficult. I mean, you're playing in a lot of different environments. It's not that you go to a club where you have DJs who play not more or less like you, but a certain sound. Like me, for example, if I go to a party where Jamie Jones, the Martinez brothers are playing, or whatever you call them, it's a kind of style. Everybody's different though, but it's a style, But in your case, you play sometimes with DJ. The DJ before you plays hard trap, the other one plays hard dance, and then you sit there and you in your head, you're like, oh, today I feel like a little bit more baile funky. That must be super difficult also for the crowd to be that open-minded.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the situation. I usually have two types of parties. One is very like electronic, experimental, everything goes, and then the other one is usually more urban, more nightlife, like traditional rap or whatever. But everywhere I get to be experimental, whether it's, vocal heavy or beat heavy. I just think that now has come a time, not where I have to choose, but where I have to keep like doing the work, because making those two worlds collide beautifully, that's what happens when I DJ. And it's not something that, you can grasp from just hearing me play one set. It's something that, like, this is why I've always loved having a warehouse party and having my own party every week. Every single week you get to come and you get to experience a new version of what I'm trying to do. I will never enjoy DJing just for money or DJing, on the super tour circuit. I think that tours are great, but I love when a tour is, every quarter I get to go back to the same city, or every year I know I'm going to go back at this time. Why? I mean, it's better when you have a relationship to the audience and it's consistent. It's like dating. It's like,
it's important. I don't
need you all the time, but I need you when I need you, because otherwise I'm going to forget it. And there's something there that's beautiful about just, when you tap in, knowing that you're going to evolve a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And every audience, it doesn't matter what they come to listen to. If you take them on a consistent journey, they will grow with you, and you will be able to do
Oh
things
yeah.
that no one else can do for them if they go out once in a while. So I do think that there's like, like, it's a unique situation to be in. It's a good and a bad thing where it's like you don't quite fit in anywhere, but at the same time, you know that there's a demand for what you do, and there's a whole community that really, really wants what you do. So again, it's like all those communities come together every generation through a new genre, whether it's, hip hop in one genre or drum and bass in another genre or house or techno. It's like that energy gets massaged into one space that's like perfect, maybe 3 minutes, 6 minutes, a whole group of people. So I think that, again, my generation, we're spread out because of the internet. We're messy. We don't really know exactly what we're doing, but we're doing something. And like now it's time to go back and think about the last 10 years and really what is this supposed to sound like? How do we move this into the future? And if we have to, summarize the experience for somebody who's new to the culture, what can they go listen to? What are the essential mixes? What are the essential albums? And that's a good task for me because we've played with giving away music. We've had really good promotional records. We've been able to get, hundreds of thousands of streams. We have millions of streams on the SoundCloud, and it's great. But to take ownership of that and say, all right, we're not doing this rec list promotional distro no more. We're going to do these 4 or 5 producers, and we want this to be the definitive sound of this generation. And look, we're coming from New York and we're coming from these different parts of the world, but we all meet under this umbrella. And that happens to be my DJ set, So as the promoter, the curator, and then, the DJ who's maybe not the headliner but draws a lot of the crowd, I'm the one that's teaching the audience, okay, you don't know too much about that genre. Let me play a little bit with this thing that you do know, or with that thing that we heard last week. And I'm creating the foundation for whatever I want. So when I take the headliners from, footwork one week to, we might even have Ballet Funk the next week, or we might have, a techno act. Like, they can go with me because it's not just the first time they heard techno. It's not just the first time that they hear their names. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the first time that they hear the genre. It's like, we've been doing for 10 years, I've been pushing footwork, I've been pushing ballet funk, I've been pushing, all these micro genres.
And you're taking those new beginners with you and that energy and that flow, that they start to be open-minded and say, oh, wait a minute, let me listen.
Everything is more familiar than you think, too. It's like to say that, hip-hop and disco, they don't have a relationship. Yeah, they do. And it might not be obvious to the consumer, to the generic consumer who's not a, music head. But everybody else is going to tell you, without disco, there's no hip-hop. This is the part that you take. This is the part that you sample. And every single generation, every single 10 years or 20 years, there's a new disco and there's a new hip-hop. And you have to figure out, what is that disco and what is that hip-hop? Where are the breaks? What are the samples that we're taking in? What are we doing to advance the genre? Because hip-hop already became rap, and rap already became trap, and trap already became this weird thing that we have now. So
what it is?
It's very weird.
I was waiting. Okay, which one? I'm trying to find the word for it as well.
It is so confusing right now because it is different for everybody, depending where you come from.
Leave it there. Leave it there.
But I say that to say that when you've arrived at a certain point and you realize, like, okay, I'm not just some random DJ that started yesterday. And also, a lot of people keep looking at me for, the answers. What's cool? What's this? Oh, they want to go and they want to be around the energy. Well, we have to convert this energy. And there's certain masters, just like there have been in every other genre. There's certain people, even inside of those mini genres, whether it's a Mike Q or, it's somebody like DJ Rashad, rest in peace. Or
rest in peace. These
are people who have now, they've brought something new to the table that exists in a new space that no one has really, they haven't, when it hasn't gone through the academia phase.
Yeah.
People have really, vocalized and verbalized what is the significance of all these little things that sprouted up in major cities around the world, not just America. Like, any big city with a ghetto produces an electronic genre, whether it's even Rotterdam, bubbling. Every major city with Caribbean and African people develops its own electronic sound, and usually it's a derivative of house or techno in some capacity, and it does really unique things that are super raw, that are not mastered, that usually never make it to record label status at all, even digital. So, you know, what's to say, like, I'm not, you know, this is where I find my digging process as a DJ, on YouTube, on SoundCloud.
Being a DJ, digging.
Real life, you know? So I go in, and now it's my job to say, well, what can we make of this, you know? Like, really.
Amazing.
So.
Big job.
It is a big job.
And we love it.
Joke. It's like being a mad scientist.
For
and then people are constantly discrediting you because you're so experimental. But without experiment, there's no evolution.
That's well said. Without experiment, there is no evolution. Let me see now. We go into the show concept. 3 is the magic number.
Oh,
well,
man, I need 3 things.
I think you got 3 things for us. Let's start with the first favorite thing of yours.
Well, damn, this is hard. Okay, I guess it's this ring. This is one of my favorite things.
Okay.
Cool ring.
What does this ring mean to you?
It actually has the Gemini on it, and I really like it because I like the way it's shaped. I'm really into like things that have 3-dimensional value.
There you go. I told you 3 is the magic number.
3.
And where you have it from, this ring? Why is it so special?
I actually got it here in LA at a swap meet, like the Slauson Super Mall.
Slauson Super Mall. Oh, that's a long time ago. I used to go there when I was hip hop.
I still go there.
I found nobody who goes to drive all the way with me down there. It's fucking far.
Wow.
Where I stay.
Yeah.
Nice. And what does it? It's just Gemini. What is it? What did you say? Gemini. Just Gemini. Okay, I can't see it.
With the 2 little twins on it.
Oh,
because I'm a Gemini.
You're a Gemini. You're crazy. I have a question for you.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, exactly. A crazy girl, is it more a bath or a shower girl?
Huh?
Are you more the bath or shower girl?
Both.
Both.
I mean, in theory, bath, but in reality, shower, because I think, yeah, I put too much on my schedule.
Okay, so you better have both. Do you know
but I need the baths, though. The baths are what keep you looking like sweet and happy. You know, you need a lot of de-stressing in this world. People underestimate it. Like, baths. The key to like youth is actually just like anti-stress and anxiety.
Okay.
Every day, you know?
Do you know Nutella? You eat Nutella? No, you don't. Okay. See, my stupid questions. My fans are also not helping me a lot by sending me stupid questions that I can ask my guests. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's go to the second favorite thing.
The second favorite thing, let's see.
You didn't prepare yourself. I told you need 3 favorite things.
3 favorite things. You're right, I didn't. But anyway, KRKs, these speakers, definitely favorite. The difference is real. So make sure you invest in your monitors wherever you go.
And these are your favorite. Look, somebody's asking, what's the drum machine behind you, Venus? I hope it's not number 3.
It's 2500. The MPC, yeah. That's a new favorite, for sure.
But not now. Yeah, it's Akai. It gotta be Akai.
Yeah, people are always like, why do you need that shit? And I'm like, because I want to learn. Like, I hate this culture of discouraging people from learning things just because you can travel around with a little, like, drum pad or whatever. Like, do whatever works for you. Like, I happen to be one of those people that I want to touch everything. I want to smash everything. Like, I want to play the shit out of it. If I can't, I'm not that interested in making the music. So it's like, you know, to like, what's up? I'm like,
dumb.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a lot of people, they're always like, well, what's your DJ style? I'm like, well, if you've ever watched me, I've been abusing the CDJs for a long time. And by abusing, I mean sampling live. you get it, you don't get it, it's not my business. I don't have to tell you, well, now I'm going to sample this live. Do you guys hear that live remix I just made? I just do it. And it's super fun. And most of the people that I know that DJ nowadays, they don't really do that. They're not that aggressive with hot cues. They like do a lot of stuff internally in the laptop. And I'm like, that's cool, but you guys know that this all starts with the hands, the ears, the hands. This is a coordination thing. You know?
Grandmaster Flash.
Well, really, like,
do you use
if you can't do it with your hands, I get the desire to run and do it with a machine, but just try at least, man. Like, you know, I think about drums, pianos, and all these instruments that I want to learn now that I'm not even going to say I wish I learned them. I'm just saying I want to learn them now. And when I talk about that with people, they just don't get it. They're like, why do you need to learn how to play the piano? You can just make the music with a little keyboard extension, you know? I'm like, because it's a fucking instrument that I want to learn how to play. And that's just that. Like, I want to be able to say, no matter where I go, no matter where I am, I can always make music, make sound. Until I know how to play these bongos, I don't technically understand drums. Why? Because it's personal. I'm not going to have my laptop everywhere I go. And I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to get into a cipher digitally. That's what people forget. All the shit is cipher. Even the original. The original DJs are drummers. They're just shamans and drum circles.
We play drums.
The moonlight. Like, if you can't jump in the cipher, you might not be it, baby. So yeah.
Are you getting perfectly? So you stayed the whole. I mean, you in the US, you had a lockdown, right? During lockdown, you were in New York or LA?
I went to actually Portland to stay with one of my friends because she was also alone, and she's from London, and I was living in Dominican Republic. So, you know, New York seemed crazy. I was like, let's just be together and, you know, we can get along great. It's easy. West Coast was so chill. Now West Coast is going up. So that was like the first month and a half. Yeah, now I'm here and I'm not loving it anymore. So I'm just like, you know, waiting to keep moving. America seems mad complex right now. And the corona is like...
It's everywhere, Venus. It's just like, it's crazy everywhere, and we don't know what to believe and what to do. But hey, forget about this. My question to you: when you stayed on the lockdown, you did exercise. You know, here in the show, you always have to show me your favorite exercise. What was your favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise is jumping jacks. Do you want to do some?
Let's do jumping jacks. I got my shorts on, so it will be funny for everybody. I'm home. So
let's do some jumping jacks. Okay.
3. Hey!
I love this show. It's so fun.
It is so stupid. Every time we have to pose and be DJs, and I thought, let's be stupid.
We need to make more exercise DJ lifestyle. We don't get enough. Like, now that I'm not DJing and dancing, I realize how much DJs don't dance. We don't do enough in our lives. Like, I know you do.
I'm sweating every time.
You
dancing.
are super active. But, like, no, you get it in. You do kickboxing, no?
Muay Thai. But I'm hyperactive. If I don't do something, I go crazy.
Well, teach us your ways, because I'm going crazy. I'm used to dancing at the rave. I'm like, I need a new physical activity that's like daily. It's crazy.
Oh, look, somebody's still laughing at me from the Laserdisc last week's show. Okay, no problem. I hate the chat. Don't hate on me. I don't know what do you know what Laserdisc is?
No.
Thank you. Next. Forget about it. Forget about it. No, it was not last week. It was 2 weeks ago. It was Stacy Pullen showed me his favorite thing. We were talking about the Basquiat movie, and he had it on Laserdisc. And I'm like, what is that? A Laserdisc is actually a huge CD.
Oh, it's tiny?
No, it's huge. Not the mini disc. I know the mini disc, but then came the CD and then the Laserdiscs. Forget about it. Anyway, what is your third favorite thing?
My third favorite thing, let's see. Honestly, let me get it for you.
All right, of course.
Sorry. Simple Joys books.
What is that?
It's
I
a
can't
book
read it.
called Apocalypse Culture.
Okay.
It is a compulsory reading for all those concerned with the crisis of our time, an extraordinary collection unlike anything I've encountered. These are terminal documents of the 20th century.
You just started it?
No, it was just like at my friend's house, so I borrowed it. But basically, people's fascination with the end of the world and just the way that we're relating to the world right now, which even affects music and culture. This is all the essays that people have written about it. But obviously, like, it stops at a certain year because this is an older book, but it's really fucking interesting. Like, we can't sit around and just let, like, life happen without really considering why it's happening. Because you realize, like, the trajectory is, like, it's a circle and it comes right back. Like, it just doesn't
Every time.
keep going up. Humans are in a decline. They will rise again. We need to understand. And also, we need to soundtrack appropriately.
So we should write the music to that circle all the time and not be repetitive.
Yes, and also, you know, with emotion. The music sometimes it gets very formulaic and it lacks the emotion of what's really happening in the world right now.
But that's what it is right now. I'm really excited to hear the music by all those artists who were sitting at home and they produced and they let the emotions fly into the music and not what can I play the next DJ set. I mean, that is
Right.
very, very important.
Somebody was asking the title again. Apocalypse Culture.
Apocalypse culture.
Apocalypse Culture. I mean, we have a duty to process. I feel like all great artists are processing the reality of man, you know, into sound and into art and into whatever it is that you choose. So I honestly was feeling a little bit like lost. And then I started reading the book and I was like, wait, the world is not in a bad place. It's just that we've been working towards this new reality and now we have to deal with it, you know? Our fascination with like so many things like order and everything from capitalism to police, you know, surveillance, and like it doesn't leave a lot of room for anything organic. And it's not strange that we feel weird, that we feel really dissociated. So the music is there, the art is there to bring us back to ourselves, you know. But if you don't have an understanding of that mission, this can all seem really, really stupid, because it is.
You're deep. I love it.
I mean, you could call it deep. I'm just, you know,
Good.
feel.
No, you got to. I mean, it's completely right what you say it in all the way. It's just like sometimes when I hear people talking like you, I go like into a deep mindset thinking like, yeah, man, it's true. You know, it's like we got to think about what are we doing? What are we delivering in the future? And the most important thing is like, be awake. Somebody wrote it. Well, wake up, you know, wake up. Look what's going on. Look around you. You know, we had the conversation before when I told you it's important, you know, you have to be clear always. What is your surrounding? Who are the people around you? This is where it starts. I mean, we can change the world little by looking to the shoulder and correct someone if he's incorrect or having bad vibes. Okay, not with me. Out of here. I want only good vibes around me. Not saying yes all the time. I don't need that. But I need good mood, you know, to keep that healthy, positive energy alive. And this is what we're spreading on the dance floor. Every weekend, we come there, we have our issues. Nobody cares about our issues in that moment. It's us and the music. And we got to put our problems and our feelings into the music and combine it and make it positive again. So the job is to make people happy and us.
That's what DJs are good at. We can take any emotion and find a rhythm for it, you know? And so it's like on the other end of that emotion could start as anger, it could start as frustration, it could start as sadness, but then like people are dancing, you know what I'm saying? At the end of it. And so the point is you cannot forget that that is your job. Your job is to process the pain and process the reality, the politics, the revolution. All of this stuff is happening, and I think part of the reason why we get along is because we're just like from a different mindset of music, which it originates before maybe like the commercial landscape of DJing really took off. We were DJs, and for me, I'm DJing in a time when, yes, DJing is very big, but I'm DJing music that is not very big. You're DJing from an era when DJing was not what it is today. Today, DJs are pop stars. So, in a sense, our lane has completely fallen from grace. There is no real authenticity in DJing anymore. So
there is a couple.
For the most part, if you look at it, at least from an American lens, like, yeah, we see, all these different strata inside of DJing, but what we really see big is like Avicii, Tiesto, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to them, but the reality is that we see it as like this pop thing, and then you guys see it a little bit more nuanced in Europe, but we have a responsibility to understand what is the origin of, just this practice. And that's why, like, books always help me remember what the fuck I'm doing.
Excuse me, books are the most important thing. Come on, what are you talking about?
Like, of course. That one last
knowledge is power.
Yeah, but like, even about DJing, I never thought, let me read books about DJing, but then I read last night The DJ Saved My Life, and just even that understanding of, they said in the beginning, like, DJing and dancing is what is this? The vertical expression of horizontal desires.
Oh, when was the last time you read that book?
A couple years ago.
And you still remember everything?
I remember that line specifically because the vertical expression of horizontal desires, it is so profound, because you're like, okay, I understand why people have been avoiding dance, or like not wanting to deal with like nightclub culture, and just why dance has always been such an illicit form of interaction and communication. Like, dancing can make you feel like you've just done, the deed with somebody. Like, depending how you dance with them, we don't even really dance like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because there is something like transformational about music and about dancing. So I just say that to say, sometimes I forget that my work is not just, what song is hot? Okay, I know all these hot songs from this genre. Let me put them together. It's like I'm literally teaching people how to communicate with their bodies, with each other. I'm creating a space for them to, dance and to do things that like they cannot do in the street. This is not the 80s or 90s. There's not people just dancing everywhere anymore. These spaces are more important than ever. So in a way, I'm like, if people don't get it, it's kind of, it's to be expected, because I'm not here to do what everybody else is doing. And I'm here to like really just make sure the people who come through are transformed by that experience, and they feel more free. You know what I'm saying? So people used to say, oh, house music, it makes you feel so free. Well, maybe my generation doesn't respond the same way, but I still have the same job to do. You know what I'm saying? So I have to find a way to do that job.
You have to find another rhythm, another key to get the access.
Well, think about it. The 80s, your mind was closed. You're in the 2020s now. Your mind is open. Your internet can take you anywhere you want to go. You can listen to any sound you want to listen to. So everything is different now for even kids that are 20s now, where I was 20 in the beginning of YouTube, in the beginning of Instagram. I have to consider that, when I reach them, it's not just what they know. It's just the width of their knowledge is so much bigger, because they have the internet, which we didn't. We can't just think like, okay, there's these universal rhythms, and there's this really like limited amount of what's good music. Now there's just hella music, and the more you go out there and you look, the more you realize like it's almost impossible to decide what's good music, what's not good music. It's like with Spotify, like how many songs are added every day? 40,000 songs? Like,
I don't follow that. But to be honest,
I don't follow it either. But
good music and bad music. Sorry to interrupt you there. Good music and bad music. There is no bad music.
There isn't.
There is no bad music. This is very important, and this is
That's what
very
everyone
important to teach
tells
the
us,
kids
though.
this. Huh?
That's what everyone tells us, that there's good and there's bad.
No.
That there's, you know, there's what you should play and what you shouldn't play. And like the reality is that when you know how to handle the material, you can play whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime.
And you have to play whatever you want if you like the word DJing, because a DJ, you play other people's music, you're creating a vibe, you're the boss in that moment. But your responsibility is to read that dance floor, to understand why is everybody there. No ego trip. Also, I mean, it's very difficult to be like the boss because you're playing that music and putting your ego beside, because you also have a role. The role is also being an entertainer. So all these facts, bringing them all together is a hard job, and bringing them for the mission. What is the goal? The goal is you want to experiment and play a little bit with the people's mind, with the people energy, exchanging energy and emotion. The second thing, you want to educate what you learned from the big guys or from the older guys. The other thing is you want to widen those mindsets. Don't think in a box, think in different boxes. Like you said with your ghetto gothic thing, when you come, everything could happen, you know? And this is very important. This is our job. And the most important thing is everybody has to go happy home. Safe and happy home, and say, okay, I'm going to go again. Not to go crazy and consume and everything. It's the whole thing. I want to go again because I want to blow my mind again. I want that energy. You know, in techno underground parties, real bunker parties in Berlin or in Manchester, you see sweaty people just dancing in front of the monitor, the box. They don't care about the DJ. All they care is about the bass drum, the sound. And I see this. I've seen this in New York warehouse parties as well, you know. And these people, they don't know who the DJ is or what they play. They know this kind of music is there. I want to dance.
You know what's interesting is that most people don't know who the DJ is
or what the fuck is
going on. And you know, we get caught up listening to the perspective of such a few amount of people who really, they just amplify their voice way too loud. If the people like it, the people are gonna keep coming. And the people don't care if Resident Advisor liked it. The people don't care if Mix Mag wrote about it. And the people don't give a fuck.
My fans don't read this. My fans just go to the party. They want to listen to music.
And this is where, again, it's like, you know, when the people say you're not a real DJ or we don't really understand what you do, I'm like, the people get it though. The people make sure that I stay in business, and the people make sure that I get the love I need in order to keep going, because this is a club. So, you know, we don't do this unless there's people. So the reality is that most of the people with an opinion, they want to be on the guest list. They don't even contribute.
That's why we give them so much alcohol and put them in the back. Drink, have fun, all good. Let me have control with these people now.
Yes, there's too much criticism, and it's not enough coming from the actual people. And the people, the majority of people, they need us to play with their heads. They need us to introduce new sounds. They need us to go out there and bring them to the world that we get to go to. They'll never go to half the countries we've been to. We can bring them there with music. You know, I don't just play Baile Funk random. Like, I was on tour with MIA, and somebody on set at our show gave me a USB with all the old Baile Funk.
Wow.
And then I said, okay, now I'm confident to say,
you're so lucky.
Well, at least because, you know, I had this moment where it's like, you know, I went there and I got it in my hands. And then when I went back, I was able to actually work with MCs and stuff, newer ones. And I was like, okay, I understand. Like, what I can do for my audience in New York is take them to Brazil with me. But I can also, I'm not just doing it through SoundCloud. Like, I've been here, I've met people. I've been given music from the past. I'm making music that's relevant now, and I'm going to put this all into a tape, and it's going to help people understand, okay, this black is not that different from this black over here, but also, if you go to the club and you hear this, it's okay. It's like Spanish. Everyone doesn't understand it, but everyone's dancing, and I want people to have the same feeling with any language that I bring. I've played, you know, music that is from, like I was telling you earlier, Angola, all the way through, you know, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, all the way to Brazil. It doesn't matter. Like, if I can deal with it, can you deal with it too? But do we have the respect here, and do we have some sort of foundation for you to trust me? And that's where my party comes in. And I know that 10 years is no, like, little amount, you know? When you commit to 10 years of teaching people about music, I don't need anybody's approval. I'm like, either you are there, you weren't there. Like, somebody will know one day. It's okay if they don't. But I'm doing the work, and people need that work, because I can tell you most of my fans are not traveling as much as I am, and they're not getting to sit in front of a computer 10 hours a day listening to different songs, and they don't even get to listen to music that much for fun, because most people just listen while they're doing other things, you know? So we have a very unique position to, like, go through this whole wide archive of human history and do whatever the fuck we want with it.
Amazing. I'm waiting for your album. I'm waiting for your album.
Me too. No.
I'm waiting for your album. Really excited. You should really, now when you consider traveling and getting out of the United States, you should meet some producers. When you're in Berlin, I have some cool guys I can introduce you to.
For sure. I'm so excited. I really want to work
really cool.
with whoever is, you know, in my path. It's just a personal, you know, it's a personal journey. You never know, like, how you can really freak this shit. Like, the world is really ours now, because, you know, as bad as it is, like, we're so much in communication with each other. We're so connected. Like, we never would have done this 10 years ago. Just wouldn't have happened. So I just feel like, you know, we have to take, like, for me, some of the fear is like, okay, how do I, like, stay in New York and stay Venus, but also acknowledge that I'm not who I was 10 years ago. I'm not even who I was 6 months ago. I go places. Like, I meet people and I connect with them, and I'm changed by those experiences. And, like, that's where this shit gets really exciting, you know? Because if we just go and start experimenting with other people like us in other places, then there's, like, an endless amount of possibilities.
For sure. We got to play again together.
I know. A real party.
A real party. Not that party we played in Miami.
That was a little weird.
That was super weird. But you know, when
those kids wanted one thing only.
Yeah, only one thing, which was okay. It's okay. I mean, but you know, the good thing is that we met there, and that was the great thing about it, you know?
Honestly, best part of the night.
That was
I think
cool.
you have a good picture of us. I was trying to look for one.
Yeah, I got to send you that picture. I found it. I will. Venus, thank you so much for this amazing talk. That was
New York is a crazy city, you know what I'm saying? So this is what you get.
Stay safe, stay who you are. I don't doubt this, that you stay who you are.
Much.
And when you're in Europe, let us know, okay?
You know I will.
Respect.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Click. I kick you out. Don't worry. So, yeah. Venus X. Interesting woman. That's really amazing. She's an amazing DJ, and she got a story to tell. So if you just come now and you missed the show, you know where to find this show. We'll be on IGTV, YouTube, here on my channels. And I hope you had a good time with us. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon next week. Peace. Love you all.